said, keeping her voice calm and carefree, as if they were two strangers who had randomly bumped into each other while taking a stroll on the scaffolding, hundreds of feet above the street. He ignored her, lost somewhere in his own mind. "What's your name?" she asked after a few seconds. No response. She waited, letting the time stretch. She was comfortable with waiting. Her arrival had interrupted the man's focus, and he now seemed to be frozen in indecision. Whatever determination he'd mustered before had dissipated. It was cold. Abby had her long coat on, a sweater underneath, and a woolen hat. But she'd left her scarf and gloves back in her car. She had one hand shoved in her pocket, but she gripped the freezing scaffolding with the other, and wasn't about to let go. Her nose and ears already felt like icicles. The words, "I'm cold," hovered on her lips. It was basic human interaction. If you were cold, you mentioned it, because it was something to say, and it was a way to create a connection, to start a conversation. But even such a simple comment hid a trap within, because "I'm cold" was about her, and the worst thing she could do right now was make it seem like she wanted to talk about herself. "It's cold," she said instead. "You're probably freezing." His eyes stayed fixed on the horizon. "It seems like you're in a lot of pain," she said. "What happened?" His jaw clenched as if the question prodded his thoughts. But he also shifted slightly away from the edge, turning so that he could see her from the corner of his eye. Abby waited, hoping he'd talk again. She needed something, anything to get him inside. She knew Will was frantically trying to find out this guy's name and the reason that had driven him to go up 52 floors and step out a window. Finally, she said, "Do you want to get inside and tell me what happened?" She didn't expect him to agree. She wanted him to say no. It would be a start, and it would give him a sense that he controlled the situation. If he said no, they'd be in a much better place. But instead he ignored her, his eyes vacant. He patted his pockets again, his motions erratic, clumsy. The movement of a drunk. "Do you want a warm drink? I can get you a thermos with hot coffee or tea." Those sounded amazing to her right now. Surely they sounded just as good to him. But he tightened even more, as if the suggestion made him suspect trickery. Was it getting colder? She let go of the icy metal pole and shoved her other hand in her pocket as well. Even though she sat safely on the scaffold, letting go felt like a mistake. She accidentally glanced down, and the darkness below yawned endlessly. Another wave of dizziness hit her, even worse than the first one, and the blood drained from her face. She dug her fingernails into her palm as hard as she could, the pain clearing her mind. She quickly raised her eyes and focused on the skyscrapers. It was an amazing view from up here. She had to give the guy that. He'd chosen the location well. There were few things Abby found more awe-inspiring than New York's skyline. Brightly lit spires and countless rooftops. The Empire State Building awash in white, and beyond it the colossal Freedom Tower, its blue light almost spectral. Surrounding them stood numerous buildings and towers, each dotted with dozens of windows offering small glimpses into the lives beyond. Even now, at 4 a.m, there were still scores of lit windows, as well as many cars traversing the streets below, their red and yellow lights glimmering in the night. "How did you get those scratches?" she asked. On and on she tried, asking questions, labeling his feelings, prodding for a way in. She did so tirelessly, making sure her mounting frustration and concern didn't creep into her tone. The man seemed to tense up, fidgeting more, shutting his eyes, taking fast, shallow breaths. She was about to lose him. It was time to call the ESU guys. Would they get to him in time? She doubted it. But she was out of options, and they had to try.